Hola, hola, hola. Time to get loco. Match 3 today of this Barcelona Invitational, which so far has meant that 2 teams have been knocked out, and the 2 Spanish teams, unfortunately, have fallen by the wayside after they lost their 3rd lives. So it brings up 2 more teams which were just chosen by Envy, all part of a longer plan from them, we think, to try and break the Danish alliance, the Lurpak. And I tell you what, I'm going to keep pushing that until somebody gets it. 1 person so far, that is it. If you want to work it out, please just Google Lurpak, you will find it. So then, which are the 2 teams which are playing next? Well, it's 2 teams which are on 2 lives. One is G2, they're on stage already. We won't introduce them because they've already been out. G2 getting themselves ready to go again. Who are they playing? Well, they are playing Vexed. And here they come, Vexed, who looked great yesterday, and you really got some form after an early loss. You started seeming like you're enjoying your CS.
Yes, we were enjoying our CS for sure.
Today's map, tell me what's just been chosen through the veto.
Overpass.
How do you feel about playing G2 on Overpass?
We didn't play with them Overpass for a lot of times, so it's gonna be a little bit random for me.
How do you approach this matchup?
I think it's gonna be hard match for us. We prefer other map than Overpass, but I believe we're gonna make some damage.
Excellent. Now, obviously, the way this format works is all about alliances. Is there anyone you're working with?
Could you repeat your question?
Yeah, who are you working with? Who have you teamed up with? Is there a Vexed alliance with another team?
Maybe.
Who is that?
I can't say you, sorry.
Well, if you're not going to tell me, let's end the interview right there. Please take your positions. Vexed, as they get up into their seats, means we are ready for the 3rd match of this 2nd day here in Barcelona. Let's hand it back to the analyst desk full of beautiful human beings. It is Vexed taking on G2.
Thanks very much, OJ. Indeed, it is. And what a matchup it could potentially be. Of course, it'd be a crime not to start this desk segment by reminding you that this was way back when, the Cologne qualifiers, when that train game happened. 50 frags happened for Hyper, and Battle, of course, picked up the win against Titan when they were in that kind of structure. 1 roster swap has happened. There is a 1 new name under the Polish roster, but it's happened once, boys. It's happened once. Could it possibly happen again? I mean, Overpass, he literally just went in the interview. It's not our best map. They're a better team.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Didn't seem all that kind of confident, did it? I was just back there talking to the guys, and I wish I got to know the veto process behind this one, because I'd love to see how quickly Train got removed away from them, just in case.
Yeah.
I literally just think it's the 1 map that they can actually do like real damage on, but I don't think Overpass is going to be anything close to that.
Yeah, no.
I don't even think G2 would have been scared of Train.
No,
that was like the first week they were after that shuffle that happened for the 2nd French shuffle. So I mean, you know, Vex at the time got away with it a little bit. Let's move past that Train match.
I'm Mr. Silver
Put it
Lining
behind us, boys.
I can be Mr. Silver Lining. I have to start by
it's
at
the
least
last
giving
match
them...
Alex watched before we went to
Okay.
COD.
God, that's such a lie. Such a lie.
All right, just to annoy Moses then, taking it back to that Train match, the 1 player who did actually turn up, who hasn't really this event though, is Hyper. He's been pretty quiet. Like, Robin's had some really big moments. The AWPing from him's been pretty on point.
Yeah.
He was opening up matches pretty well on your Mirages and such like that, but where's Hyper been? You know, this guy was kind of the next in line. You know, everyone was kind of looking at him like he was the one who trialed out for Virtus Pro back in many a moon ago, and obviously didn't quite make it that far. But it's like this tournament, he's just not quite been the guy I expected, if I'm honest.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. Is that he's always expected to be the one who's going to have the most impact for that team, and he hasn't really been there. So, yeah, I just think he said it in the interview. We don't feel comfortable on Overpass. It's not a map that we really like, so it's going to be interesting. He still thinks they're going to do some damage.
Such an awesome feeling coming into a game, you know.
Real
So, how do you feel about the veto pro? You got 3 vetoes, boys. Yeah, we got a map we don't like.
Yeah,
I think that's
feel like crap, OJ. Thanks for asking.
That's a worrying sign for them coming into the major qualifiers as well, right? Yeah. But in this particular case, I would give the upper hand to G2 still, even though Overpass is not a map they played that much either. I mean, they did beat Astralis on it in Lithuania at that tournament, and it's a really good map for Astralis. So, you know, that says something for itself. It's going to be an uphill struggle for Vex for sure, but as it is a best of 1, anything can happen.
Well, I mean, the big thing too for me with G2 is you know, we talk about Shox needing to be that big player who's like the main carry for G2. how he still seems like he hasn't quite gotten to that peak yet, but I think Scream has been playing much better than he had than you know, a few months back. I think RPK is quietly improving over the past few months as well. So at least they have these two other players that can help carry Shox through stretches and matches, allow him that time to get comfortable, to get really checked in and show up.
I mean, we saw it yesterday. It was Scream who had an amazing performance against Astralis on that Dust 2 game. Even in a couple of games of Pro League, Scream has really been stepping up recently. You know, it's not just about him getting headshots and, you know, what he's known for. It's about he's actually getting, you know, high impact kills, important kills, entry kills into the side, or he's the one making the plays when it's a 3v3 and so on. So he really has been supporting Shox in the fragging department really well.
I remember when initially, you know, Scream was catching everyone's eye, there was always this criticism like, he got removed or he's going to get removed from that team because he goes for that one particular style of play and it limits him. There's been a lot of growth for him as an individual since then, is it safe to say?
Yeah, definitely, because you have to remember there's been a while where Scream didn't have a team because he was kicked out of Titan.
Yeah.
The other French team was all set. He didn't want to join lesser teams, so he was just honing his skills, so to speak, until that international lineup came with Kingwin.
Yeah, and of course.
Well, he also got a little bit screwed out with the cheating situation.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
His team was preparing to go to the major, but. Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting when you look at like the French shuffle, how Kenny initially got, you know, dropped out of very games because they didn't think he was up to par. He went to a different team, spent some time, really developed as a player, comes back. Scream now has done the same thing, and now he's come back to existence.
Well, RPK just went and was a mechanic for 2 years and then decided, okay, right, CSGO time again, here we go.
Yeah.
I think it really just shows that there's much more to, you know, being a good player than solely your mechanical skills, like being a good opper or a good rifle or whatever. There's a lot of things going behind the scene and a lot of things going in-game. Is your communication good? You know, do you get frustrated? Do you tilt your team because, you know, you got angry because and so on and so on. So, you know, it shows how some of these players have matured over the last 2 or 3 years.
And with that maturity increasing, with the, you know, the skill increasing, as we already highlighted with Scream RPK, when will G2, if not, okay, let me rephrase. Can they and will they rise to be, you know, top 2 beaters, top 3 beaters again? Well, is this lineup currently capable, in your opinion, of being back on that final stage? Because it's been a long time coming for Titan. G2.
I mean, I would like to say yes. I mentioned it yesterday. I think they need a good tournament. They need a good win somewhere. And then they're gonna get, you know, the confidence. Also, you see,
is that a mouse bungee?
The game yesterday we saw against Astralis, it was a perfect example of G2 games throughout last year. You know, they get against a tier 1 team, they get into a good game, they have the upper hand, and then they just throw it away, right? So I feel that after getting a good tournament, they're gonna start playing better. But the thing is, the scene is so competitive right now, it's really hard to say.
And I still see so many flaws with that team that you see occasionally them breaking out of, like you see them on specific maps in these beautiful plays that play perfectly to everyone's strengths, like Scream hitting up that the B site on Cash, right? He walks in, gets like a 3K against Astralis, beautifully set into place by Existence of the Helm. You know, you get all these like nice pieces coming together, but it's like, can they replicate that through all the maps? Can they kind of overcome all the issues that have plagued this team? The attitude problems, kind of the, you know, the 2 split between them. Can they actually find that coming into any major event consistently? When they do, they've got a ridiculously strong lineup. Like, no one's doubting the strength there, but it's just everything has to fall into the right place at the right time, which hasn't quite
Hasn't it been that story for so long, though? This is what I'm suggesting, is it's always been, look at those names, and then they just don't quite pull it together.
For me, the big question mark of this team is Smits. Not because, you know, he doesn't need to be a JW Guardian or Kenny S in a sense that he needs to be that flamboyant topper, getting the entry kills for his team, but he does have to be solid. If he goes for that, you know, defensive Skaduda-like type of opping, he has to at least get those frags that are, you know, quote-unquote easy frags, the ones that he's supposed to get. He really should not miss those, because then he's becoming a liability for his team, you know, and as we said, it's really competitive, and that might be a problem for G2.
Looked good yesterday against Device. Smiths. Also, I mean, they have a major event coming up, and they've flat out said during this event that everything they're doing here is just preparation for the major qualifier to get to the major. So I think that question that you just asked, Can they ever get back there? I think that's going to be answered here in the next month or so.
Yeah. So keep your eyes locked on G2. Of course, first step is to best Vexed, and we've already highlighted some of the, the silver linings there. I've said already. I'm not even going to mention that particular map / game again, but we know that they can achieve some things. Of course, yesterday 16-7 against Dignitas just didn't quite feel like they ever got going in that game, and now it's kind of you're on death's door, right? You've already lost a life. If you lose this one, then immediately the French. I was about to say the French-Canadian, the French-Swedish roster can basically just continue to run with this tournament.
Yeah, they need to step up their city side play, because yesterday they had a decent 6 rounds on T after losing Pistol against Dignitas, but then they couldn't win a single round, or they won maybe 1 round on their city side, right? So playing against a team like G2, who is, as we mentioned, strategically a solid team, they would need to step it up on their city side in order to have a chance, especially so because Overpass is maybe even a more city-sided map than Mirage.
Yeah, I'm going to have to poke you for predictions, guys. I feel like it might be very predictable, but still, starting with you, Yanko.
Gamers 2.
Moses.
G2.
Yeah. G2. Okay, cool. Well, that makes a lot of sense, and we are, of course, believing in the boys from France. They're about to dive into a best-of-1 with Vexed. Can they do better than they did yesterday against Dignitas? The answers are about to be provided by Henry G and D-Man.
Yeah, we certainly hope so. Can they do it again? And I think they just flogged that horse dead about the 58-round match that Vexed went through last time around. Maniac was back on Titan then, so it's a long time ago. He's now the coach of Envy, so it's a lot has changed since then.
Well, I think this will be an interesting game. Vexed have had a strong tournament so far. They still have 2 lives here in the tournament, but you can see what exactly G2 are bringing to the table. They want to keep that French alliance alive. They want to keep full control of today. They want to make sure they don't drop a single map in this kind of fanatic G2 envious kind of mentality they've got going on. So this is the most opportune moment for them to carry this on. G2 definitely have the upper hand going into this one, but Vexed are very handy as well. They've got some strong players and they're a very methodical team as well, have some great execution. So this one, it could get a little bit uncomfortable for G2. I don't think this is a clean cut, as you may think, considering the lineups.
Yeah, I mean, it was 16-7 versus Dignitas recently, so which is what we're trying to measure it on. Yeah. And obviously you would assume G2, who challenged Astralis on day 1, would have the better of them, but as it is in the knife, it looks like Vexed are going to lose this one, so G2 will have the choice. And I always love it when it switches back to us like that, because we're just like getting ourselves poised for the camera, and we're just like...
It's like breaking the 440. You see what we do when we're off camera, right? It's kind of interesting.
It's a good job. Nobody stood up. It's like, should be a shot of my groins out there. It's like, not what you want to see.
I used to stand up when I cast. I kind of stopped doing that. Maybe I'll bring it back.
I always do it. It's something I've always done, but these desks kind of suit sitting down.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Well, it's looking like G2 will be staying on the CT side here. That's pretty par for the course, to be honest. It's more of a CT-sided map these days. If Vexed can get rolling, like I said, they have got very strong executions, so maybe they could find some sort of moment to get into this. Pistol round going to be huge for them. It'll be interesting to see what kind of approach he goes. We've seen a very different styles in the pistols this tournament. A lot of T teams actually opting for 5 sets of armor and just going for that very aggressive take and staying in the Glock train and trying to find the rotations. So a lot of teams of the CTs will go hunting for information at the start. So if you stay in that 5-man formation, if you run into the aggressiveness from the CTs, you can lock it down straight away and get back into it.
A lot of teams basically not using any utility in pistol a lot lately as well. It's becoming the default.
It's kind of interesting that the CTs are doing 5 sets of armor these days as well. The fact they're not even buying kits, they're actually happy just to go in and take those duels on. It's coming into the pistol right now. It's going to be Overpass. G2 starting on the CT side here, and Vexed obviously on the Ts. We do see that 5 sets of armor coming up from G2 Esports on the CT side, so you assume they're going to be taking the fight towards Vexed here. It's going to be 2 smokes for the Polish squad. So
a molly in there for Vexed. Furlan going to be rocking that one. Where are they going to be taking it? You would assume that we're going towards B site.
Well, this is the thing. They're going to be going towards connector at 3 players towards B. I'd assume smoke's going towards short and 1 towards the window area. Molotov towards the barrels, and then XQ over with the flashbangs they have as well. They're
certainly setting up for it just outside of Monster. You can see Rylan there. He's the man with that molly, and he's actually down in the connector. So if he gets caught out, that molly's going to be absolutely useless. But they're going to start bursting through. Here goes Grubby through Monster. Nobody from G2 to prevent them getting in there. That's a good wall of smokes as well. They're going to get a free plant down, and they're going to try and hold it. That's the question. Grubby, nobody finding anyone just yet. Existence having a little trade off the side there. Smith does manage to find the first man. That's Hyper going down. Smith's around the back of them. Can't get the shot through Monster. And Repo keeping them at bay. Bomb planted. 4-on-3 situation.
Really much options here for the T's. The bomb's ticking away, but they don't have a kit here, G2. So coming in, Groby does take down Existence. Finally, they have got something to work with here. Still, the man advantage going against them. Furlan, the last player remaining, out of position. RPK will finish him off. And it was a really nice start to the round from Vexed. They got those smokes down. The bomb gets planted uncontested as well. We saw Scream boosted up towards the CT wall. He does manage to do a little bit of damage. But once again, G2 did this on train before earlier today. They're waiting for the whole team to rotate over and making sure they go in with a full force instead of giving up men early on in the round. So solid round from them, but Vex do get the bomb down. You would assume they'll be going for AK-47s in the third here and taking more of an eco here, taking maybe some P250s, maybe some Deagles, and the objective purely in this round is to plant the bomb once again. You can see they haven't actually purchased a single thing as of yet, so this could be a very clean round indeed.
Yeah, just a single P250 switched in by Grubby. That is it. A very clean second round, no forcing, so not fancying it, and Smiths is going to go aggressive. They obviously with the SMGs, they want to go hunting for these kills. RPK is going to be the first man to catch them. Is he going to push on through? They are. There's two of them. Scream alongside him. Scream manages to find one. It's going to be should be a straight clean-up by G2 with the rifles. RPK collect all the cash that he can. Gets himself the double. And it's just Hyper and Ralon left. So the little fake of sending Ralon all alone through long while the rest of the team stack out outside of Monster backfires. And G2 get the second easy round.
Well, the idea for G2 is try and farm as much cash as they can with those SMGs, try and level things out. RPK picking up 3 kills. He's going to have a decent amount of cash. He picks up a FAMAS as well. But this is the round where it gets interestingly. The fact that they have AK-47s and a decent utility as well. You can see they've got 4 smokes so far.
What are your thoughts on RPK, by the way? Because you were around, you played against him.
I played against him many times, yeah. Like in Source, he was actually the #1 player that ever touched the game. He was absolutely godlike. I don't think he's reached those levels in CSGO whatsoever, but he's still a very solid player, and he actually is showing signs of improvement and getting back to the kind of glory days. I don't think we'll ever see him get to his peak again, but still for me, solid and can hold his own for sure. And then he's going to be pushing off short. We just talked about him. What can he make something happen here?
Getting a peek around its existence that may well get challenged out. You can see on the minimap Vex are stacking around A at the moment. They have control of connector as well if they need it, but Furlan with the spray down almost gets himself a double there. Hits Scream that backed away. They're going to push on through Monster. Very aggressive coming out of G2 on the defense there.
This is the thing, they had an SMG, they didn't have, they had FAMAS as well, they needed to find that first pick, knowing they're going up against AK-47s, and now Vex with a huge man advantage can slow things right down. They've got so much time to play with right now, so they know the CTs need to actually react to this. They're going to bleed them out, make them use their utility, stick together, then execute very simply onto a bomb site, and it should be quite a clinical procedure going forward.
If Smith goes for this peeking man, well, not get out alive. There's 3 members of Vexed all trained on him. They do catch a glimpse. They tag him down to 42 and he has to back away. But that'll be enough information they need. G2, are they going to try and stack out? Are they going to try and defend it? It looked like almost like they were going to rotate away from it because both Scream and Smith's very low. Here they go. The push through Monster. They have to get one of these flashes in a perfect position. Smith is ready to burst through. The flashbang. Will he get popped in there? The smokes are down. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Scream's already been picked off. Smith's managed to find one. The plant goes down, though, from Ralon. And sitting in pit, there's not a great deal he can do alone. He needs the help of Existence. He's only just rotating in from Sniper. He's a little late to the party. Gets himself one. This is still doable if he can land one of those world godlike shots to the dome of Repo and cut him off the side. But Smith's getting flashed out. He's not going to help his cause. He does manage to land the shot though. Existence now, he can cut him off, they can go for the defuse, but Hyper will take him down, and that's it for Vexed.
That was the moment right there then. They had an opportunity, both players went short. Had he found that first kill, he could have actually held him off and done the body block with the defuse coming in. But unfortunately their G2, like I said, they were up against it. They had their FAMASs and the MP9s ready. They needed to go aggressive. We saw RPK pushing off short. He's trying to hunt for information or find that first frag just to give them something to work with there. Unfortunately he goes down, Shoxy tries to do the same in return, and they lose the first 2 frags. And as I said, at that point Vex can just slow the game right down, stick together, hold off the flanks as well. They've got every single possibility covered for there, and they come out on top there and they go into the B bomb site. Good news is for G2, they still have cash to work with. You can see 4 rifles have come up and Scream yet to buy, so I assume he can drop a FAMAS as well. So definitely a competitive round going forward. They managed to get a few kills onto the T's, but this is another big one. This will actually reset G2 if they were to lose it, so all to play for him. And we have got a quick pause. I assume just
it was a tech problem, yeah. Vex just had a tech problem. Repo just rejoined. So on pause coming back out. Doesn't mean Smiths is going to be sitting on the pistol though. I don't think anyone's dropped for him.
Let's go find out.
Yeah, I was going to say we can't see it at the moment. You're going to fly over there in time. No weapons on the floor.
No, I think he's going to be just on the 5-7 here. So 4's a Famus on, a 5-7 on towards Smiths. And in terms of the utility, they have 3 smoke to play with. This is going to be another similar round. They need to be pushing, maybe getting towards the connector area, trying to find a first frag here. As Vex definitely are in the driving seat in terms of the equipment. 5 AKs for them.
And of course, the theory is that G2 win this game, it will go down to Dignitas versus Fnatic. That's the theory.
That's what we're thinking, isn't it?
That's the plan.
Because I thought Vex were part of this little alliance to begin with.
I thought so yesterday, but apparently they're going to get thrown into the bus right now. Because, I mean, the 2 Spaniards are out, so Vex are kind of the next in line, I guess. Sure. So if the theory would go to plan, Vex would be out by the end of today. But there's a lot of matches to happen before that happens, and a lot of results need to go the way of the French-Swedish alliance. I think someone called it French-Swiss alliance. I think they were missing up Swedish and Swiss. It happens quite a lot.
So we have Existence now. He is pushing up his connector area. As I said, they need to find something with this. Going to be playing 2 players towards B. Smiths has got Existence has got backup from Smiths towards middle as well. He's the 5-7 player. You can see Vexed. I'm not sure what kind of financial situation they're up against right now. So they're just taking things very slowly indeed, seeing what the CTs are presenting to them in terms of aggressiveness, but slowly but surely making their way towards long.
Yeah, they were all sat waiting for expecting G2 to push out. Nothing came from it, and now Rallen going looking. He's the only man without a rifle on the T side, so he's the scout effectively with this Deagle. He's the man being sent in to go try and find those shots, but Existence gets one, gets a second in stairs as well, but he can't get a third. Repo will finally get that trade, but Smiths is wrapping around already into restrooms, and Repo with the bomb has to be careful. Smiths, without the weapon, will be tucked in very nicely. Nothing to poke out, nothing to give his position away. Shock's in support for him.
This is the thing. Shox is going to try and bait him in, but what kind of better bait is there than taking down Repo for him? It's going to be a 4-on-2 now in favour of G2. You can see Hyper making his way towards long. He needs to find a frag here. Bomb down towards middle. They've got 30 seconds remaining. Not much footing into this round.
A very disjointed attack from Vexed. Didn't come in part. Tried to come from multiple angles, and they've just lost out every single duel. Furlan, the last man standing with the bomb in hand, but Shox has done the damage, and then up behind him, the 5-7. Okay. Not going to quite work out for Smiths there. Didn't quite get the tags down, but RPK, the rotate comes in, and G2 do hold out the round, and that will break the economy of Vexed. They're going to have to go for some sort of force, or possibly a full save.
We saw Existence getting in that connector area. We said he needed to make something happen. He got the double frag as well. That completely disjointed. Vex going forward. They tried to reposition themselves towards long, but unfortunately Shox stepping up towards middle does save the day. And Smiths does get taken down in the end. He's going to be back onto the SMGs, but that's absolutely fine. Once again, going to try to farm some cash. You can see them going aggressive, of course, towards that connector area, trying to make those SMGs do some serious work here. Vex at the top of middle, going to be working together with the upgraded pistols they have.
Well, Smith's going to try and pop out. He's got 3 ahead of him. They're going to try and rush him down on stairs, but he's got the support. Existence is down there with him. And here they come. It's a double SMG charge down, and it's just going to be massacre at the top of stairs. Quick, easy, 5 kills, all on the SMGs. A lot of money.
Yeah, Sadikis would say that is money, money, baby. Rolling into the bank accounts there, and they will actually justify keeping an MP7, and they have upgraded one of them. Existence is going to be a player towards that area, and he will be going towards middle, it seems. And there's going to be another quasi-buy here, partial buy from Vex Gaming, just Tech 9s and some body armor. They've got 3 Molotovs and smoke grenades actually, so I assume this will be the similar B take we saw on the pistol round, trying to Molotov out some key positions.
Look at the aggression from G2. They've read it wrong. They're going to try and go aggressive at the top of A. So if Vex were to move fast, they could get in and catch them off guard. Scream and RPK, the 2 on B site, awaiting them. Quick rotate, of course, through connector, could catch them there in time, but as you mentioned, these triple mollies all set up. Smoke Scream at the end of Monster. He's going to push on through. He could get himself a multi-kill, and he piles on through. Switching to a bit of Unreal Tournament there as we go for the multi-kill, but it doesn't work out for them. RPK comes around, and it will be a clean-up there. So Scream gets himself, what, 3, 4 in there?
Yeah, he drops the smoke perfect time, sits in front of it, just didn't even have to aim at that point, just spray your AK down the tunnel, and he picks up 3. MP7 comes out on top as well, and finds the first 2 frags. They're upgraded now to an M4. Here's the simple kills coming in for Scream there. Didn't really have to work too hard for them, but it's a nice clean up regardless. So now we go into yet another gun round here. Scoreline currently playing at 5-1 in favour of G2, but the AWP, Kamad and Rallen, he can be a very influential player. He's great at working picks and opening up the maps here for Vexed.
Shox and Smiths going aggressive round party, but this time Repo is ready. Catches Smiths off guard. Will he be expecting Shox up close though? He's already picked off the 1. I don't think he'll be expecting the 2nd there. Shox though will re-smoke, and that will give his position away. Now Repo aware that somebody is nearby. Very aggressive stuff from G2 here, looking across on the minimap at B sites as well. They're both looking to push out tunnels here, RPUK and Scream. Existence at stairs, so very aggressive defensive line from G2.
Yeah, they would have had the double bounce to the smokes. You're absolutely right. They're going to be aware someone's close, but Shox doesn't care. He's going in for the kill, takes down Repo as well, neutralizes the situation, brings him to a 4-on-4. You can see Hyper making his way to the bathroom as he's got through undetected as well. So this is actually quite an advantageous position for him as he comes in the back of Shox here. We are going to be seeing Vex slow it right down though. And actually, G2 opting to go more on the passive approach here now. And it's just going to be Hyper to do all the work, but Shox finds his second of the round.
Well, Hyper's got behind enemy lines effectively, and he will find Scream. Scream wouldn't have been expecting that one because Shox was down on stairs, but Roland with the bomb is all the way back towards his spawn. He does manage to come out of cop. He was expecting Shox. He knew Shox was in and around there somewhere. Now Furlan's going to be the man investigating. RPK in on site is effectively 2 1-on-1s here. That's going to be RPK going down. Existence is all the way over on long A, so they've got plenty of time to get in and get the bomb down as Existence makes his rotate.
Yeah, he really cracked open the bombs out there. Furlan with a fantastic shot onto RPK. Existence with it all to play for, though. He has got 100 HP, a defuse kit, and the bomb just being planted as well. Has something to work with here, but it would be an absolute nightmare for Vex to throw this round away. They have an AWP set up as well, and that's going to seal the deal. Existence goes down. That's a lovely round from Vex there. All came down to Hyper. He gets in towards long. They lose that first frag. His reaction, get towards bathrooms, get to A undetected, and Shox is unable to give that information to his teammates, and he sees them get shot in the back there on the A bomb site. It was enough for actually to peel some CTs away from B. Furlan goes in, opens it up with a crisp shot onto RPK, and finally they get back into this one after a pretty large deficit. I think that's what it was, 3 rounds in a row for G2, so they're definitely okay for the buy this round, but this will be the one that resets them if Vexed are able to take this round.
Grubby and Repo pushing in. This time G2 don't go aggressive on stairs. You can see Shox getting that little boost, that little peak, trying to get some information at B, but that's not where they're heading at the moment. Repo and Grubby, but the bomb with Rallen on the orb. Not your usual setup, but they are pushing around long, but Smith's holding that angle, catches Hyper just as the flash comes in, backs away, damage done. Rallen looking to try and get the re-peak on him, but he's already gone.
That's the problem with just running out after a flashbang. And Orpa's always going to fire his shot before he falls back. And unfortunately for Hyper, he gifted that kill to Smith slightly there. It's going to be a 5-on-4 in favour of G2 now. The bomb's still down, all right, towards the top of the middle. You see they're trying to work a frag back here with Rallen's AWP, see if they can do something more with this. And he's going to be going pretty aggressive here as well.
And there's a little flash for flash. Smith's getting the peak in there. Not working out. Rallen still tucked in, still just below. If Smith goes for a re-peak, he'll absolutely take that shot, but Smith isn't interested. They're looking towards restrooms. Meanwhile, the bomb's making its tracks downstairs in towards B-side.
5-on-4 still, time ticking away. 40 seconds remain. Rallen needs to open up something here. You can see they're kind of opting to go back towards the B side here. It's going to be Repo leading the charge in Monster Tunnel as well. 3 players though for GT waiting for him. He's going to have to do an absolute godlike performance to actually do anything with this.
Yeah, they've read this really well. Fully aware they've actually tried to counter-rotate. Existence is going to be the key man. He's going to catch himself one. Can he get a third round the corner? They're going to try and push his position. That's going to leave A side open. Smiths and Shox on the fast rotate. Will they get there in time? You can see he's just going to come around. The plant going down from Grubby, but they're going to have his position covered the second he backs away from that side.
Now the retake coming in. Shox does take down Grubby, and Scream coming in the back as well. It's all down to Furlan with the AWP. The bomb's planted for him, but he's going to get one, and it should be over at this second here. There it is. Scream, really nice retake from G2. They've actually impressed me so far with their fundamentals approach in this round. They're very patient, making sure no one makes a key mistake and putting themselves in 1-on-X situations. That's another prime example of that. Once again, it was Smiths that opened things up with the AWP, put the pressure onto Vex, and the time just ran down too low. They just have to go for the straight-up plan there, and a simple retake procedure from G2 there. That does reset Vex, but they do get the bomb down, so they get an extra $800 going into this one, but they can't really justify too much. They're going to have another partial buy, just upgraded pistols, no armor, a couple of flashbangs, and you assume this will be a faster base attack, maybe just swarming towards middle and trying to catch out anyone going aggressive perhaps.
Yeah, last time they tried a fast rush into Monster and Scream was ready and waiting for them with open arms. This time it seems that Smith is going to go aggressive again, doesn't land that opening shot. Now he has to backtrack, he's got the cover of Existence, so he should be safe. There's the flash coming in, and there's Smith's managed to land that second shot. The repeat's coming through, has to switch to the pistol, will finally get run down. But G2 are in a position to slow this down. Existence here in restrooms will manage to land a quick trade. He's got the support, almost took a shot on Shox there as he came in support. It finally gets around the side in Existence, should keep them at bay. There's the final kill And Vexed, well, their little rushes with these Tech 9 pistols, they're just not working for them. G2 are reading them so well.
There's not really much you can do in this situation. You have a few Tech 9s, a flashbang. They're just trying to hope they catch one player out of position there. They managed to take down Smiths. That's an AWP drop, but obviously salvaged by G2 by the end of the round. We have another full buy coming in from Vex this time. No AWP on Rylan, as I said, can be very influential getting those opening picks. He's actually only on 2 frags after 9 rounds. He hasn't had the best performance here. He's one of the headline acts of Vex. Is going to be, once again, holding up a little bit more passive, hunting towards those connector areas, seeing if they can find Existence. It has been a little bit of a thorn in their side towards that area. It's quite a fast play from Groovy as well.
Well, they're compiling out of stairs, actually. Smiths, you can see, had decided to go over towards B. He's got the backup of RPK, but restrooms is where Vex are all stacked up, and Existence, if they're throwing that nade, would have caught them square on the chin. That molly instead will be perfectly timed, but look at Hyper. He's got around the back of Shox. Shox had pushed down long A, but that gives their position away. You can see Existence, top of the board right now. 15 frags, going looking for more.
Wow, that shot from Smith, we just missed it. It was actually a wallbang through the door towards the B side. He pushed off short. That was pretty nutty. But Existence continuing as well. It's going to be a 4-on-3. That was an uncharacteristic miss from Shox towards long, by the way. Like, he should have been taking one player down with him all day long, but unfortunately it didn't work out for him. Now Vex, not really much to play with. Man disadvantages should be another one as well. A Scream stepping in. He's hungry for headshots, but it's going to be Grubby that takes him down.
Tap, tap, tap. He's trying to find them, but Grubby gets 2, but he's quickly answered by Existence, who is having a great game right now. 18 frags on the board, just 10 rounds in.
He's been an absolute beast towards that bathroom area, pushing it towards connector. He's just been very dynamic, changing his position up and getting 2 or 3 frags pretty consistently as well, playing off his teammates perfectly. And once again, Vex are going to be back towards the pistol. Seems to be a common trend here. Not really able to get anything really going. They've won 2 rounds here, and every time they get reset fully straight after they get a win. So they're going to be back towards Tech 9s, PD50s, and a couple of flashbangs. This time looking to more of a B-sided play.
Yeah, no armor, so they can't push on through that molly. That single molly just holds up the entire team. Hyper, the only man to stack around. RPK got a glimpse of everybody there, knows exactly what is coming, gave the call to his team. There's the flash coming through, actually catching Shox off guard a little bit as well. But they are stacked ready. And it should just be simple cleanup. RPK, is he going to go for the peak? He knows there's a couple of them around there. Got multiple angles. That's a uncharacteristic mistake there as he gets caught out by their multiple pistols.
This is strange for Scream, keep rebasing that. Like, this is getting a little bit dangerous for them. They want to sit back and make the T's work for them. They've got nothing to work with right now.
There's no armor. They've got nothing. There's no reason to do it. Maybe they're in a rush. Maybe they want to get the games finished and get on with it today. I don't know. Banking up for yesterday's delays, but as it stands, G2, you would expect to be closing this one out pretty soon.
Well, there it is. It is going to be the round secured, but just in terms of keeping the money strong, you don't want to give away these frags for free for no reason, but let's see what they can do. Existence continuing his strong form, does take down the bomb on the A-bomb, so just going to be Rigger now with not really much to do as it goes to 9-2 in favour of G2. We'll have a look at the cash coming in. It's going to be pretty decent for Vex now. They definitely can get the AWP out. I think it'll be a glass cannon for Rylan here. Actually, he gets head armor as well. I thought he had 5k. He must have been dropped the AWP from a teammate. Someone must have been sacrificing themselves a little bit there, but we go into round number 12. Smith's back on the AWP as well. Be interesting to see how he decides to approach this round. Going back towards long, but his Existence has been the headline act so far for G2. He's feeling very confident indeed, and Shox is going to be leading the charge and getting himself up towards party here.
Yeah, see if he can catch Repo off guard. Repo staring, holding the angle, looking towards him. Rylan's creeping through with that AWP. He's crept through and almost manages to take their head off RPK's shoulders. Instead, he will just drop away there. Information is all he needed. Shox going aggressive here, comes around the side, but Hyper ready and waiting for him, expecting that aggressive play. Smiths is just holding the angle down long, but it's Vex that are looking to open things up at the moment, trying to find some more information. Grubby working his way through stairs while Hyper pushes soon towards restrooms. But the bomb is making its way back over to B. They want Rylan to land this shot on RPK.
Smiths that rattles off a shot towards long there, and it's actually Hyper lucky to get away with his life. I thought he'd be falling back in that instance. Going to be sticking around with the rock, gets flashed out by a teammate, so he does live to see another day here. Rylan now making his way up towards short. He's trying to work a pick towards the B bomb zone. See, the CTs are reading it. It's going to be Existence who's going to be rotating momentarily, it seems, as the bomb is making its way over. They still have 4 smoke grenades. This could be another full execution with Molotovs onto the B-bomb side.
Existence has rotated. Oh no, he stopped. I'll tell you what, he decides to back away. He was on his way across here, and they're like, probably the call that we've still got a smoke still. We no need to rush on through. And that smoke's going to delay things. You can see Grubby's going to have to push on through it, go aggressive. They're going to be piling through Monster. It's Furlan and Repo coming through with that bomb in hand. They are going to find themselves one RPK, but he gets a good trade and catches Scream straight away as soon as he comes around Pillar. That will be Repo planting the bomb. Hyper, the man that's actually on the rotate, he's going to try and get around the back of Existence while Smiths is in here. He's the last man standing now. And with that AWP, he's in a real dangerous territory. He wants to try and save it, and he knows Hyper's behind him.
It was actually Shox that gave that first kill away. Looking a little bit frustrated. He keeps getting caught out on these 1-on-2 situations. He just pushed long, completely alone there. Didn't use any utility. Got taken down by the players waiting for him. They bought their time in that situation, went towards B bomb site, did a full wall of smokes, and we had Hyper with a great lurk. As soon as his players executed on the B site, you saw him on the minimap right now. He's actually lurking towards the other site in Furlan with those fantastic entry kills. He's actually been very efficient in getting into that site. So the rounds they have won, he's been instrumental. You can see that reflect on the scoreboard right now. Furlan's on 12 kills. The rest of his team are pretty far behind him, but Hyper's getting there. And we're going to round number 13. It's good. Slightly more difficult buy for GT. They have a Famous on RPK, but they still have the AWP on towards Smiths.
Yeah, they could do with a couple on the board, and an opening frag like that from Rowland is absolutely what they wanted. Now, Grubby with Rowland on support, trying to see if they can get a little peek. RPK still going for that jumping peek, you know, even though they know there's an AWP staring down. A very dangerous play.
Well, they have the 5-on-4 once again. Rowland, as I mentioned before, very good opening up the map for Vexed Gaming. He does it once more. Smiths, the AWP who's dropped. And we'll see if there's any reactions coming in from the CTs yet. They're going to play a passive game so far, not really reacting to it, not pushing and forcing any sort of situation. You can see Hyper once again getting all the way towards the end of Long A, smoking it off as well, taking that vision away from the CTs. They don't really have much intel here. This is when they need to be reacting. They can't just sit back and allow a full execution to come in once more. You can see the terrorists actually deciding to rotate towards B, it seems. It's going to be Furlan waiting once again, wanting to get those entry frags going as his teammates make their way over.
Yeah, screaming RPK going looking here.
Yeah, that's the reaction they needed.
Looking for information, thinking where have they gone? But look how deep Vexed are sitting on the minimap. Look at them all stacked out just outside of Monster, ready to burst into B. But I think they've misread the situation. I think they believe it's an A hit, and Hyper's trying to sell this one. But now they realize Existence has just taken him down. They're going to have a good look around. But here comes Vexed. They're going to be piling into B side. And Scream's the only man in the position to stop them.
He's in a perfect position to do it, actually. As I say that, Repo does take him down. The bomb will be planted on the B bomb site. RPK's got other ideas though, going aggressive here through the smoke with the Famous. Doesn't actually manage to take one down. He gets one. Furlan answers back though, and it's going to be a 3-on-2 in favour of G2.
Shox down in pit. Can he catch him around the side there? Furlan holding the angle. Rowland manages to land the shot. Now Existence, the last man standing. He's been on fire for G2 so far, but he's only got 5 hit points. He's going to have to go and save, and it will be the 4th round on the board for Vexed. They're going to try and chase this gun down, but they won't be able to catch him.
And his B bomb site's been very effective. Once again, Hyper making his presence known towards the A bomb site. We saw only Scream remaining at B. We said he was in a good position, but it wasn't good enough. He needed to take at least one down with him to slow down that push. He got taken down. RPK did what he could, only managed to get one with the Famous in Existence. The money has been put into dire straits now for G2. They need to save at least one rifle here, and what a man to have it on. He's on 20 frags right now after 13 rounds, looking incredibly strong. So hopefully they can do something with this. He's got, they're going to be partially buying with him. So RPK will be opting to go for the CZ and body armor. No one else to invest just yet. Obviously after this round it'll be number 15, so they want to make sure they have that strong buy going into the final round.
Well, let's see what they can do with it. Are they going to go aggressive? Are they going to try and catch them? Just push straight up with those pistols. Doesn't look it. They're going to send 3 memo over to B site. Doesn't seem that's going to work. And Repo going fast and furious as he puts it on through. Existence in that stairwell. Hoping they can maybe catch something. And he does get a tag, and he's managed to get the kill. He's the only one with a rifle. And now let's see if Smiths can recover that weapon. They know that there's one loose in party, but Rallen just caught a glimpse of his head there on Existence's screen. Realised the danger. They can't recover that rifle, and they're going to cover it off.
Yeah, they're going to go for a boost on the A-bomb side as well, trying to make this M4A4 as effective as possible. They've got the first frag with it, and now they're forcing the T's to funnel themselves into the A-bomb site. Existence not going to be in the best position considering the approach that's coming once again up towards long A from Vex. We have got one player towards B. That's going to be Furlan. I assume he'll show his hand shortly and try and get some attention towards that side.
Yeah, Shock's just got a peek down long. Caught a glimpse of Hyper and Rallen there as they're pushing on through. As you mentioned, this stack, this is literally all G2 banking on this singular stack to make it work out. While this is all happening, Grubby's working his way with the bomb over to B. So this is a total fake. They're trying to draw the attention of G2 all over to A site. Hyper, again, going to be that distracting force. while Furlan looks to try and make some openings. But RPK has actually gone looking for some information. He's going to be looking through tunnel. He may well be the one that catches a glimpse of Grubby as he passes on through there. Just caught his legs. Just caught a glimpse of him, and the rotate being called from G2. They're already coming over to B site.
It's Hyper though, looking towards the bathrooms. He should be able to take this frag down. Its existence has dropped. That's the only rifle. Bomb going down on B now.
Grubby will get the planting, but look at it through the X-ray. You can see how close they are. They've read this situation well. G2, they're going to get the pistol stacked on site. RPK coming through, trying to find the last shot there. He's picked himself up an M4. They didn't get the plant down. Just 2 seconds gone. And G2 pick up the round, brilliantly read by them. And Vex just ran the clock down too much and ran out of time.
Interesting stuff there. The fact that Existence gets that first pick at the top of middle, they fall so far back. Very passive setup there. Vex, like you said, just waited way too long. They got full on control. Everyone decided to fall back to the B bomb site, leaving Hyper there. He actually did very well to get the kill towards bathrooms, but then you saw RPK massively stepping up there, taking down the bomb this time, and there was only 10 seconds remaining. They didn't really have much to work with, and there it is. G2 somehow win that round, and Vexed shunned into disarray here. They go into the final one of Reaper on the Tech 9. They still have Rollon on the AWP, so still definitely something to work with. And Smith's back on an M4, so pretty equal round in terms of the equipment.
Every time I see somebody in that situation, tunnels, I just think of Nico. He just lands that little pop shot every single time someone jumps across. So I always think that's so dangerous, but then I just realize it's something that Nico does, and not many others can get away with it.
He's one of the most skilled players in the game right now, so absolutely. But here we go then. Final round, round number 15. Hyper once again. He's so good at this long A area, getting another frag on towards Smiths, and that's going to be enough distraction. The bomb, unfortunately, is still towards T-spawn, so CT's reacting heavily though. Look at these rotations coming in. Everyone coming towards the A bomb site. No one's staying towards B right now. So, unfortunately, for Vex, the reaction won't be able to come in fast enough. They still need to get the bomb, but Ralin helping things out, taking down Shocks.
Well, they know where he is, but they can't manage to get him down, and Ralin up close and personal gets himself a third. And now just the one man remaining. It's RPK that goes down, and it will be 10-5. They could be arguing this should have been a 9-6 first half there. Vex going to feel a little aggrieved by that previous round, but 5 rounds on the T side is the best they could hope for. Not the greatest of scores for them, and you'd expect G2 to come out swinging in this one. 21 kills in the end by Existence. He was 18 round, 10 kills in, so it took him a little while to slow down.
He kind of dropped off towards the end, but it was a very strong performance. He won them so many rounds individually towards that mid area. Ralin at the end, they're stepping up. We said he was influential player. It seems like he's finally arriving a little bit now. It was Furlan that was the MVP of the first half of the T's for me, though. The kind of amount of rounds when he's getting into the B bomb side, is cracking it open by himself, was very impressive indeed. But we go into the second half. We'll have a look at the G2 buy coming in. They're actually going for 5 sets of armor once again. These guys don't want to use grenades. They just want to rely purely on their aim, and why not? They have got some very talented individuals. On the other side of the pitch, we've got Vex with 4 sets of armor and an aggressive play actually towards short.
Existence the distractor, but Vex are going looking, as you mentioned, through those tunnels. They're trying to find some kills. Well, Existence has got himself one of his own, but look at this. G2 piling down long 8. All 4 members. Rallen's going to be the only man to try and stop them. They're already going to be on site before they can do anything. Rallen has to back away. Took the little peek and backs. Gets himself a little bit of vision control. Tries to cover off. But Repo now has the angle and manages to get himself 2 kills. Catching Smithson, Scream in the back there. RPK does finally chase down Rallen, but the damage may well have been done. Existence on the rotate, coming around the side there. Can't land the shot. Furlan will. And G2's attack just dismembered by Repo and co. from the back.
Yeah, it's really interesting. The fact they got the opening kill, it looked like they were so emphatic up towards long. You never thought they'd get shut down.
4 kills for Repo in that round.
I didn't notice
the pistol,
that.
yeah.
Actually, I saw him. He was actually towards that mid area and shooting towards bank, and he actually just shut them down completely. And it was Furlan that was struggling a little bit, but Repo stepping up, and that's a massive round for them. Much required here. Bomb was planted for G2, so it's a similar situation. We see a lot of top teams will force buy in the second round. They're so confident in their ability with the Tech 9s. It's looking like it'll be more of a conservative approach here from G2. They want to make sure they actually have those AKs going to the next round. And it's a similar situation for Vex. They're getting 2 SMGs, UMPs, still effective in gun rounds here, so they're kind of covering their own behinds there going forward.
Well, let's see if Shoxy can do anything with this Deagle he's picked up. He's going to hold it a monster, and actually it's going to be Grubby that took the little peek. We can see again on the screen Furlan and Hyper also getting some of their information. So Vexed playing fairly aggressive on B site. We'll keep our eye on that, see whether it continues, looking for that information. Meanwhile, the rest of G2, you can see them stacking out at the top of stairs, looking to have a party.
Yeah, well, it's kind of slowly trying to work out what's going on here. I think Vex could be fully aware that it's going to be a pretty much safe buy coming in here, so Rallen towards the top of middle here. He actually has the scout, so he's looking to do some tags, get some intel here. He can switch between long and short. So just gathering intel. We have got one player, Furlan, who is in the connector area right now. So as soon as they get some information, I'm sure the pincer will be coming in. But they've actually got decent control along here.
Very close. Are they going to be expecting Smiths up so close? They won't, but that grenade could find himself a target. Repo will get one, but it's the M4 that's doing the work. He gets one. Won't expect Existence to jump around the side, but Repo quickly answering, getting himself another 2 kills. And a simple round in the end for Vexed there to close out G2.
It was very important they kept as many men alive as possible going into this one. They want to bank up their chances with as much utility as possible. They have 1 UMP going into this and a scout. So considering that G2 are bringing AKs to the party, it's going to be a difficult hold for them, but definitely one as possible. I really like the UMP in a map like this. Lots of close range opportunities here. It will be interesting to see where Grubby decides to go. Heading towards the B site so far. I assume he's going to be either getting close range on short or maybe just sitting in front of that monster tunnel.
He goes ahead of the smoke, and actually managed to find one. It's Rowland that got the little tag onto Existence there, and they're going to back away through that smoke. But Smith is not going to allow them to get away quite so easily. That grenade will buy them the time they required to back away. So a 1-for-1 trade, Existence and Repo going down in the opening exchange.
4-on-4. Terrorists are going to be making their way towards long. Problem is there's no AWP for the CTs to actually hold them off here, so they're going to be trying to face it with flashbangs to see if they can get some sort of indicative response as to whether G2 are pushing up there. Bomb will be grabbed, and you can see there is just one player for G2. That's going to be Shoxy looking for any aggression from B, but not going to be finding anything just yet.
Smith's in restrooms starting to creep forward. We do see Hyper getting a little angle on him, but he got tagged up, forced to back away. Now, will they over-rotate on this one? Shox is going to push on through Monster, and the bomb at the moment making its way downstairs towards B site. Furlan is in a prime position to stop that, but the call may be coming from G2 to have another look. Go for an angle as Shox works his way in from Pillar, and that's going to be caught out. Furlan should have come out on top in that duel, but Shox managed to quick react and find the head of Furlan.
Well, now the CTs don't really have any control of the B-bomb side. Hyper has rotated in, but Shox just doing so much work here. Almost had an opportunity to rip the head off him. He knows where he is. Got to tell his teammates to come up towards short, and it should be the kill going in favour of Shox there. Smiths does reply as he's taken down, and it's a 3-on-2, and the CTs have all to play for now. 20 seconds remain. Bomb will be planted on B.
And of course, just that scout, not the ideal weapon. Going to come into Sniper, see if he can land some of those shots, but Plant goes down, can't get the tag on towards RPK. Instead, almost found the head of Scream. Little double peek there from Scream, gets away with it somehow. Mainly down to Rallen not landing the shots. Does the 4th time of asking, but not a great deal else he can do about this one. Smith and RPK absolutely will not be showing for him. And Rallen will just back away and save.
Yeah, he hasn't got a kit either, so he kind of has no option but to bow out of this round. The money's relatively decent for CTs. They had some 2 clean rounds there, and they kept the money really reasonably honest with the Famases and Scouts. You can see Rallen's up to something.
Is he going to try and ninja it? No.
I think he's just trying to pick up an AK or something before he bows out of the round. Unfortunately, does not work out for him. And RPK takes him down, and will survive as well, just about at 4 HP. So we'll have a look at what Vex and how they can respond to this after losing that 3rd round buyout from G2.
Wow. Okay, Polish crew's got this one on lockdown, it seems.
Why not? Kiss cam.
Was not expecting that one at a Counter-Strike tournament, but there we go.
Wow. We go into round number 19, and we can see the force buy coming in from Vex. I think it would have been an eco for them regardless. They're trying to work with Rallen's AWP as the only player that had money, and it's going to work as well, taking down Scream to open things up here. 5-on-4, now they can decide to fall back a little bit.
It's glass cannon, and Smith is going to continue pushing him, and they will find him. So that is an AWP loose. Smith could be picking that one up. He'll be absolutely delighted to be getting himself a free AWP. At the moment, he's going to stick with the AK. Up close and personal. Hyper holding them at bay. And there is the AWP now in Smith's hands. That's a mistake, I feel, for Vexed.
Let's see what they can do with this. Rallen has been taken down, but so much time to play with here. G2 with control of middle as well. The CT's trying to get something out of this. Repo with the scout, trying to work towards bathroom to see if he can get anything for his money. They have dropped the AWP, and G2 still with 2 smoke grenades as well. Could definitely execute onto the bomb side. Shoxy once again towards that B area was a really effective backstab last time. Looking to replicate that perhaps.
Well, Smith's still trying to find a pick, but that smoke's going to slow things down and the rotate will come through. It's going to be a B-side hit. The question is, can Repo catch him in the back? No, doesn't look like it. They're out of position. And now Shox is giving the information as he creeps his way through Monster. Grubby and Furlan, can they hold them at bay? Furlan had the chance last time. Shocks with the spray down, not working quite as he planned, but Existence will manage to land the important shot. Furlan, though, keeping them at bay. That's the plan, not going to come through, and they're on for a counter-rotate. There's only 15 seconds on the board here. Smith has to push here. Repo is on site. If he can just land the one important scout shot, there it is. Catches Smith. Can he manage to keep them down? They've got to get the plant in. 5 seconds remaining. RPK, the plant will go down just in time, and Smith managed to get in there, but it was a risky play by G2.
He felt like that scout could have done more with that one. He hits the first tag, unable to land the kill, and with 5 seconds remaining, the bomb just get planted there. It was Shocks who had another, I have to say, disappointing aim display there as he went to the B side. He was struggling on the CT side a little bit, and he goes with a full spray, gets taken down, and then it came down to that really clutch moment there. And it's such a massive round as well. Had Vexed won that, they would have kept themselves alive in terms of the economy, but G2 capitalised just about and have broken the money for Vexed here. So we enter round number 20. You can see Existence reading this quite nicely. He's got the SMG once again. He's going to be the recon player, going into key situations first, and he should be able to find the first kill as well.
And he will make that bank. Repo also caught out by Smith. That was down long, but it's B site where they're going to keep pushing. Existence and Shocks trying to work out some of that cash. Shocks getting himself an easy frag on Grubby down Monster. And Hyper the last man in sight. Repo going looking for information, trying to find anything, but Smith is holding the angle with screaming support. So no worries for G2 in this round. Should close it out 13-7 once Repo finally goes down. And Vex, well, they've challenged. They've had a few little chances, but it's been G2 really in control.
Oh yeah, the last few rounds especially. That's been 3 in a row now for G2. It has been some close moments. It got a bit hairy, especially in the last round, but G2 now getting in touching distance of map points. You can see a pause coming in. Tactical, I was going to say, this is probably an opportune moment to work out how they're going to approach this round. The thing is for G2, when a tactical pause comes in like this, you know they're going to try and adapt their setup. They're obviously going to be changing things up and trying something a little bit more inventive to try and get the first frag perhaps. They're up against it with the money. You can see not a single kit purchased so far. Rylan and Reaper can't really justify getting one, so we'll see how they go with this one. I assume it's going to be either a stack or they'll go for an initial pick maybe towards middle or pushing in towards connector. But for me as G2, I'd probably be saying, you know what, we've got enough cash here, we've got enough to play with, we could just do a straight up B rush and just kind of get in their faces and go for the simple contact play.
And it was Existence win with the SMG. We assume he will switch across to an AK. Don't suspect he'll hang on to that one. It is very much going to be a tight purchase by Vexed.
Yeah,
see, the two that haven't bought have only got 4.1k, so single armor and maybe a smoke in there with a rifle.
Well, so far, definitely will not be able to get the AWP on Rylan.
I was just thinking that. I was thinking that looks like a really annoyed Scream, you know.
Really annoyed?
He's actually only got 9 kills. I mean, remember, 3-4 of those were in that one little spray down in Monster. He's
true.
Had a fairly frustrating game, I think, for him, probably.
That's kind of correct, actually. Yeah, I forgot about that spray down he had with the AK-47, but I'm sure Vex will be taking all the time they possibly can here. This is make or break time right now. If they were to lose this round, and almost put them back on another eco, they will be at, I think, 2,900 loss bonus next round, so it would be an almost impossible buy. So this is a must-win round for Vex. No kits. They have got 5 smokes and 5 M4s. So, as I said before, this is the round they're going to try and go for a first pick. They're going to kind of mix things up a little bit, try and surprise GT perhaps. Like I said, I'd be calling something very simple here if I was Existence, be saying, you know what, let's just full on rush B split as fast as we can. Let's get in there. We know we've got the advantage in terms of the cash, and we have an MP7 to lead the charge as well.
I always love the little sign of what else can I buy? I'll get a decoy.
Yeah, why not? $50, right? Yes. Do what you can with it.
It's like, I can't afford the flashes. I'm going to get a decoy. It's going to win me around,
well,
this thing.
Like I said, even if they lose this round, it's pretty much over anyway. So might as well
get what you can.
Might as well do something with it. See what you can do with that.
But it's always like, you know, when you've got that M4A1 and you the silencer and you get the decoy out there, it's not really doing a great deal for you.
For me, obviously, you have the opportunity to pretend it's a decoy in the more sense of the word. You can bounce around a wall, pretend it's a flashbang.
Yeah,
there's something you can do with it. So that's a very like a specific.
I mean, it'll work like 1 in 50 times.
Yeah,
maybe.
It's a very specific thing that happened, but it definitely can be effective. You chuck that around a corner and then face straight after as well, getting someone to turn away from it. It's useful in that sense as well. $50 to potentially get you a kill like that is interesting, but we'll see how this goes down. The pause still coming in. It's one of the longest tactical pauses we've seen in a while. You can see Shocks questioning it.
Yeah, go? Question mark.
How long does it take you to come up with a strategy? I guess they're trying to just like get you to a little bit bored, maybe take that momentum away.
I mean, the thing is, they realise that they're on 2 lives at the moment. This will take them down to 1, and control very much out of their hands. They're pretty much aware that they are being thrown to the walls effectively.
They're not even talking right now, so I don't know what the pause is about.
So actually, I remember talking to Fnatic about that way back in Cologne, talking about their pauses and like, what do you talk about? And he was Pronax, like, you must have some real tactical knowledge. He goes on, he said, actually, we just don't talk. We just sit in silence and just collect our thoughts.
Well, this is the thing, right? That's when you kind of start bickering and rounds going again. So you want to kind of calm everyone down, just to think about yourself, what has been going on in your specific situation. So that completely makes sense. But it's looking like we do have the round coming in here. It's actually 3 players towards middle. 4 Vexed. They're trying to see if they can challenge any mid-aggression coming in. We have got Existence going up fast towards short with the MP7. Unable to do anything with just yet. Doesn't spot anyone for his troubles. But look how passive G2 are being right now. They don't actually want to give an inch away as we enter a very important round indeed.
Well, I'm trying to use that stack, trying to hope they get some information, looking towards the top of stairs, and we can see G2 stacking out that way at the moment, so they will peek their heads around the corner. Rallen just sat there. He has the perfect angle for this one with this stack. The bomb's been thrown loose in that connecting area, but G2 at the moment just waiting, running the clock down, seeing if Vexed will make any mistakes. Undisciplined play, and as I mentioned now, I can see Repo making some creeping moves down long. There's the little scope from Smiths trying to catch Hyper out. They do back away.
Repo in this bathrooms area, unaware of how many players are in front of him right now. Here's going to be the first exchange. It's going to be Scream on top. Gets his 10th frag of the game, and now full control goes towards G2.
And they're going to push on through. They're going through the smoke. They're trying to flash the way through, but Hyper was ready. Can he manage to get more? That's the question. He's going to try and flash himself in. Gets up close and personal. RPK has managed to get around the back of them, though. Scream will come out with his second of the round. And just as we were talking about the frustrations that he may well be feeling, 2 kills will certainly set him going. Furlan got to be vital in this one. Can't land the shot. Scream gets a 3rd, and Grubby the last man. And you've got to feel this is going to be game, match, and point for G2. 14th round on the board, economy broken for Vexed, and nothing they can do. Grubby has to go and save.
Yeah, he has to, really. Like I said, they're only going to have $2,400 coming in. All right, $2,900 next round coming in. So if he saves the M4, at least that distributes the wealth slightly, but there won't be anything else for either. Some upgraded pistols, maybe a FAMAS or 2. If Grubby keeps getting kills like that, that boosts their chances very slightly. But Scream, as we mentioned before, have been having a very quiet game so far, both 3 of the biggest kills of the game to secure them and bring them into round number 14. And Vexed kind of scratching their heads there a little bit. They sent 3 players towards middle and didn't really get much for their money. Scream opened things up in bathrooms and then managed to shut down the aggression coming in from Hyper as well. He tried to push through the smoke with the flashbang. It was actually a very effective flashbang. He just wasn't aware of where the T's was and able to shut them down as they fell back. So here we go then, round number 22, as I mentioned. Not much money whatsoever coming in for the CTs. 5 7s. A FAMAS, a Deagle, and Grubby's saved M4. They have got a kit, but they take an absolute miracle performance there.
And we're talking about quiet games. Grubby just with the 4 kills there, and that one of them was that exit frag. So
true.
Possibly not the best person to have that M4 on right now. Maybe pass it off to someone who's having a more lively game. Rallen, though, going aggressive with this Deagle. Unawares that there are 3 stacked just the other side of that wall where he is. And he's going to find one, can get possibly the second, and he will! That's a big impact play. Scream and Smiths both go down, tries to pick himself up a weapon, but Existence will finally take him down. Grubby with that M4 finds a kill, and suddenly it's a 4-on-2 situation for Vexed.
It was Shox trying to react to it. He lost those first 2 Deagle frags. He's pushing through a smoke in Monster Tunnel there just to get something back. It's Grubby waiting on the other side though. Almost gifted a frag there in that situation. And now they have some footing in this round. It's a 4-on-2 situation. RPK and Existence remain. They have full utility. They have time, so definitely not a secure round for Vexed as of yet.
Nade landing square on Existence there as he tries to push through the smoke, and Repo will get the kill. And now RPK in a 4-on-1. We saw him go nutty the other day and picking up a crazy ace, but this is a very big ask for him. Well, there's one way to start things off. Gets himself the kill, and that's the only kit, by the way, loose down long A at the moment. Hyper's going to try and hold the angle, manages to work it well, gets himself the kill, and a very important round for Vex there.
Absolutely, just to stay alive really. It was Rallen with that aggressive play towards the top of middle, somehow finds that first opening shot. Here we go, let's enjoy it one more time. Scream gets absolutely railed there, and Smiths with the AWP misses the first shot, gets taken down, and there it is. Vex come to life once more. A double AWP set up now for G2, slight change of pace for them. Shox joining in with the AWPing role as well as Smiths. So you'd assume they'll be working a slower game, trying to work any picks here. CT's sending 2 players towards long. and it's a pretty standard setup as we have got Repo making his way towards those bathrooms once again.
Well, Grubby, if he goes looking towards Monster, which he's slightly edging towards, will catch a AWP shot to the face. Smoke goes down there, luckily, so Shox won't manage to land it this time. And slow play from G2, as we'd expect with the double upset.
Absolutely, they're just trying to work a pick here, bide their time, and make sure they don't give anything away. Just want to make the CTs make the first mistake here. Bleed them out as much as they possibly can. They know the money's not fully recovered for Vex so far, so make them use all the smokes they have, and then try and work the pick. We hit the 1 minute mark. They haven't really made any big moves as of yet. They have existence in the connector area right now, just trying to take over short. Oh, I'm not sure if he did spot a player boosting up there on towards that area, but it's going to be Rylan that opens it up. He does take down Smiths. That's one of the AWPs drops, and the man advantage given towards Vexed here.
RPK and Shox both in on B sides at the moment, but Furlan's found RPK. So now Shox with that AWP, scoped up on Toxic here, but Grubby doesn't look like he wants to show for him. Furlan's giving him the information, and Shox has to back away, back down Monster. So 3 members up against 5 of Vexed. Repo caught in no man's land. Scream will find the head of him just from Party. And now they can push on through. Rylan holding the angle, but Shox gets the shot on towards Grubby. And that's quickly answered by Furlan. The bomb, though, in the hands of Existence, and he's managed to find the pick down long. And that is Rylan being cleared out, and now A-site in control for G2.
Rylan in a really strange position there. The bomb will be planted. It's a 2-on-2. CTs do have kits. The retaker's on, both coming from the CT spawn area. And we can see one has actually changed up towards Bank as well. So Existence with the bomb, and Scream continuing the form he's had in the last couple of rounds. Gets the first edge onto Furlan. Can he finish things off here and get them onto map point?
You'd assume Hyper has it stacked against him here from a 5-on-3 situation. G2 now in a 2-on-1 advantage, and Scream finds himself a 3rd headshot of the round. And that is the danger when you have a player like Scream. Quiet or not, he can land those shots. 15-8 match point for G2.
He always has that potential. Even though the CTs get the first pick once again, G2 come to life in the big situations. It was Shox going towards that B bomb site once more. He's so impressive with those lurk situations. He had a couple of misses, but he knows when to get into that bomb site. Gets the first kill, taken down, but it's enough just to peel away enough CTs in that situation here. So we go into potentially the last round here. We have UMPs, 5-7s, Deagles, and an M4 as well. A lot of damage being taken from Hyper there. He's going to go down to 8 HP. And G2 definitely with a huge upper hand here and potentially able to finish things off.
A wing and a prayer. Grubby over on B side has Shox in the smoke. They're both either side of it. They're dancing. We're not seeing it on the screen at the moment. We're keeping our eyes on that. Shox will come out on top, and that's B side carved wide open. RPK with that bomb just sitting in tunnels waiting for something to come his way. Furlan going to go looking, but Smiths will get a peek first. Is he expecting the man behind the rock? Doesn't care. Frankly, he's just going to back away from him.
Well, this is the thing. Long they stick together now, they know the buy the CTs have. They know this one's pretty much done, unless there's a monster Deagle play coming in from Rylan once again. He has got that weapon. Opting to go towards the B side, they'll be doing some key smokes over and just sticking together and making sure they hit their shots. It's going to be as simple as that.
Just 8 health on Furlan with his FAMAS. You'd have thought he'd actually passed it off to Repo. He's on 100%. It's one of those moments where you really probably should give the weapon away. But as it is, he gets taken down with ease. Smokes will go down. Bomb plant coming in for Repo with a 5-7, hoping he can land something. Can't find the domes. Existence will. And it's looking like G2 will close it out slowly but surely here as the plant goes down on B side. Rylan with the Deagle gets himself one. Furlan gets another. Suddenly it's a 2-on-1. It's Existence and Furlan coming out on top. Bombs in his favor, but Shox around the corner. He's got no kit. He's never going to be able to stick this one out there. Shox is just going to try and run the clock down. Discipline stuff. He knows there was no kit. I mean, he had to, but he does get taken down.
He questioned his decision.
And that was a 4-on-2 situation. A 4-on-2 take by Vexed.
He kind of questioned the situation there because obviously he went for the fake defuse and then didn't make a single footstep or noise after that, and Screams like, wow, he probably hasn't got a kit. I need to reface this. And had to go for the reface. They were ready. And somehow we keep another round here alive for Vex. Like you said, it seemed like it was all but done there, but they stay alive. And we have got an auto sniper coming out as well. So maybe there's a few more twists and turns here, Lee.
Yeah. I mean, you thought that was just done and dusted, closing it out. This is a nutty buy coming out here. AWP and a Scar along with 2 FAMASes. It's like, why not? Why not?
Yeah, well, it's going to be a full BX coming in here from G2. Contact play, not showing their hand at all in terms of utility. It's a great flashbang, but Grubby's unable to capitalize on it. Furlan on short now, got it all to play for. Needs to just wait for his teammates to rotate before he faces.
Yeah, he's caught between a rock and a hard place. Smiths will land the AWP shot onto Hyper. Furlan stuck in the smoke, can't get around the sandbags. That molly going down, it will just delay the bomb plant. But again, this time it's a 5-on-2. Can they go one better? Repo and Rallen with it all to do. Shox, though, is going to be the man that comes around the back. He's going to be the man that causes the problems. Is he expecting Rallen just behind him? I think he just caught a glimpse of him coming through with the Tech 9, plowing on in there. Rallen with your four members to get. Just got to go the ace.
It's just about boosting his own stats here. At this point, it's literally an impossible round to win. It's game over. GGs will be exchanged momentarily, and there it is. Rallen unable to do anything with it. An impressive performance from Vex. I don't think we ever thought they were going to win that game, but they actually had some decent showing into that one. Amazing first half performance for Existence. Like, we don't normally see him ever to top frag that sort of fashion, but he actually carried in that first half. His CT performance towards middle was phenomenal.
Yeah, definitely did the damage. And well, the French-Swedish alliance
that's the one.
continues.
It does.
And they hold ground. So
they keep full control.
Will we see Dignitas versus Fnatic next? That's the theory.
I think that's the most logical choice, right? That means you give Fnatic the highest possible chance. Dignitas, I'd say, slightly weaker than Astralis, so you're trying to edge your bets there a little bit and see what you can do with it. So that's definitely the most logical outcome.
Because the Danes have 3 lives. They have to start taking lives off them. Vex themselves down to 1 life now. G2 sitting on 2, along with Envy and Fnatic. So it's the Danes that need to be chipped down. We'll see. OJ is going to grab himself a player. You can see him, he's trying to wrestle. It looks like it's going to be Scream with OJ.
Well, I thought it was going to be, but he's just walked straight away. He's coming over here. Nice one, buddy. Just to say, these guys will be doing a signing in about 15 minutes' time, just over there, if you want to grab something signed by them. Maybe your face, maybe your lips, if we're going to get the kiss cam on again, which you missed during that game. That was ruthlessly professional by you.
Yeah. It was harder than expected.
You came here, when I was talking to you yesterday, you came here looking ahead to some of the bigger tournaments that are coming up in Katowice and then in Cologne as well. What sort of form do you think you're in, having played these 2 days?
I think we show pretty good things. We are in constant evolution. We are better than last month, and I think we are in a good way for improve.
C'est bon. So let's talk about the next matchup now. I've heard people talking, the casters talking about it, everyone's got their theories. We know there's an alliance going on with the Danes, of which both still have 3 lives left. Tell me the first team that's going to play in the next matchup.
Dignitas.
Oh yeah, and who are they going to play?
Fnatic.
Oh yeah, that's what we want to see. Thank you very much. So that is the next matchup here in Barcelona. Fnatic taking on Dignitas. Machine, my man.
Everything going as planned then to the strategy that we seem to have laid out already. And I mean, it's first from Smith's mouth himself. He said that was harder than we expected. It seems to be the trend here in Barcelona that these teams that a lot of people have a lack of expectation for are managing to do at least something against these greats, this kind of 5, this core 5.
Yeah, I just think that game, I think there's one man who stood head and shoulders above the rest that you don't normally see there in a team of real superstars. Yeah. It's great seeing that Existence had a time in the limelight then. So definitely counterbalance the odds a little bit then. And I can imagine actually if he wasn't maybe on point, that scoreline could have been a touch closer on occasion.
That's the point you were making before, Jason. Literally, you were sitting there like Existence is one of the few that doesn't, isn't the in-game leader that has a game. He doesn't have, the 1 to the 2.
I was actually kind of joking when I said that, and then we looked at the score, and I was like, oh, well, okay, there we are.
So you accidentally wrecked top analysis.
It just happens sometimes when you're at the top of your game. We've actually seen him have some really good games, though, recently. To be completely fair, he's had some better performances, on an individual level. I think he's definitely stepped up, and that was just really, really cool to see it. Shock still was a little lackluster, but does it matter? They won. Yeah. Everyone did their job. And maybe that's better in the long term, is instead of having the 1 superstar, now that they're having Scream step up, like we mentioned. Smiths yesterday looked really, really good against Astralis, so maybe it's just everyone stepping up just a little bit collectively instead of having 1 or 2 people step up massively.
I think the disparity between the teams is obvious, especially on this map, because you could see on their city sides how G2 always went for a different setup. Sometimes they had this cool boost towards the party area. I haven't seen that before over the smokes. They would sometimes, you know, push towards the water area and so on. While on the other hand, Vexed, when they were at the city side, you could see them playing like in singles, right? Each player for himself, which is not the way you want to play Overpass. The map is city-sided because of all the setups you can do in pairs, right? That use that body system to your advantage. They didn't go for it, and you could see how it was pretty easy for G2 on their T side.
Well, you saw many like 5v3s and situations like that. Vexed ended up losing, and that's kind of one of the big factors as to why I think.
Unforgivable. I mean, but you're right. The buddy system was used like once, if not twice. Every time else we saw Hyper lost in toilets. This constant, basically, case on the CT side for the poles.
Overpass is a really cool map to where there's a lot of ways that the CT side can be aggressive in the early parts. And like for me, the key to Overpass has always been that battle in bathrooms. You know, if there's going to be a defensive pressure there, can the terrorists push it back without taking too many losses? But we even saw like G2 would get a kill, would get a pick from that bathroom, some angle. It would be like someone opping or someone, you know, an M4 setup, and then just fall back with that man advantage into the site. And then all of a sudden it's like, you have to execute, trade your way into these bomb sites. We're going to be confident guarding them with a man advantage.
Well, Existence, of course, was pretty much the forerunner of that, but it was also Smith's playing that role with him. Both of them like bounding off each other really well, pushing to the toilets, falling back when required, you know, playing towards long. It was a really nice composition between the two of them, so nice little bit of synergy forming between those two.
Yeah, and I mean, the next kind of discussion point is going to be where this leaves us now. We saw the lives. I'd love to bring them back up just so we can kind of get an overview. Vexed are on 1, the Spanish are on 0, and of course the rest. This is where the Danes are going to have to be challenged. Dignitas, of course, up next. Still haven't seen them lose a life, nor have we Astralis, as Dignitas are going to be meeting Fnatic. You can see them there with just the 2 lives. Look at G2 as well. So basically, everyone else that you would expect sitting on that 2, it's just a question of how long can this Danish pair defend themselves. If Dignitas pick up the win here, everything changes and everything starts looking really, really good for the Scandinavians.
Yes, but they're playing Fnatic. I mean, we've been talking a lot about it, how Dignitas is on the rise and everything, but Fnatic is a whole different beast, right? You know, it's not like playing some other teams. Even Envious, to an extent, is maybe similar, but for me, Fnatic is just right now on a different level. So it's going to be really difficult for them to have a good game.
I'm hoping maybe the G-bots inspire a little bit in towards Dignitas after what we saw yesterday on Inferno. Or maybe there'll be a little bit of a close game, but I think overall, you know, it's hard to ever doubt Fnatic.
Well, that's the fun thing. You bring up G-bots. We saw G-bots against Dignitas and Fnatic, and both of them got pushed to their limit, 16-13, 16-14. We'll see how much the Spanish litmus test does affect the actual final result, though. That is coming up next. So do be sure to stay tuned for your 3rd game of our 2nd day here at the ESL Expo for Barcelona, and we'll be right back. Did I just have a...